Modern combat under the banner of Al-Mahdi is a calculated urban operation. It moves away from the popular imagery of gleaming swords and cavalry charges across open fields. The actual battlefield is a claustrophobic maze of ruined concrete, where a massive conventional military maintains a suffocating presence. Thermal drones patrol the skyline, scanning for body heat, while facial recognition systems monitor every surviving intersection. This is a total surveillance environment. Engaging this technological giant head-on leads to immediate destruction. Instead, fighters move through the ruins in a swarm, stinging and vanishing into narrow alleys before the enemy can orient their heavy armor. Success requires changing the rules of the encounter. The resistance forces a war of nerves, designed to convert the enemy's high-tech assets into liabilities. The resistance runs on a decentralized command structure. Small, independent cells execute specific tasks without waiting for a central bunker to issue orders. Modern militaries are fragile, relying on digital satellites and centralized hubs. If that single point of failure shatters, the entire force is paralyzed. The Beehive model eliminates this. When one cell is captured, the rest of the network remains active, rerouting information without interruption. We saw this during the Soviet-Afghan War. Massive armored convoys stalled in narrow mountain passes, unable to respond to a mobile enemy. In Vietnam, the Viet Cong neutralized superior firepower by moving underground. They used hand-dug earthen tunnels to vanish after strikes, rendering bombing raids useless. By combining independent command with these evasion tactics, the resistance stays invisible. The invading force is left in a state of constant psychological tension, never knowing where the next sting will come from. To bypass digital detection, the resistance operates off the grid. They abandon military radio frequencies and the internet entirely to avoid leaving a traceable signature. Communication relies on the physical world. Fighters tap on water pipes, hang specific laundry on balconies, or passcodes in the shadows. Intelligence gatherers include the people the occupation ignores: street sweepers, food vendors, and market traders. They form a human network tracking troops in plain sight. Surviving under a blockade requires a hyper-efficient approach to supplies, where every resource is cycled through the network to prevent waste. If Gandam supplies fail in one sector, the network salutes surplus rice via wheelbarrow. Empty bottles become defensive traps, and scrap iron is reforged into weaponry. This regression to analog signals and scavenging renders a billion-dollar surveillance apparatus useless. Flying drones look for a digital enemy that no longer exists. This strategy is powered by a mass migration. Civilians abandon the elite-controlled megacities to gather on the urban fringes, forming dense, self-sustaining human perimeters. The success of the underground depends on these communities. Their shared identity and refusal to collaborate provide the cover the fighters need to operate within the city ruins. Eventually, the conflict reaches a breaking point. The enemy enforces a total blockade, cutting off all food until the community is exhausted and the perimeter is surrounded. When panic should take hold, the shared struggle of the previous years creates a collective, unshakable courage. Having already survived years of scarcity, the population faces the closing perimeter with a serenity that the invading forces cannot psychologically account for. This is a decade-long war of attrition. The resistance targets the enemy's treasury and endurance, stretching the conflict out until the occupation becomes financially and physically bankrupt. The goal is a transition to regional stability. The same moral foundation that governed the sharing of food during the war prevents the new leadership from becoming oppressors, ensuring the peace is managed with the same humility that won the conflict.